They switching sides. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just said that he might have regretted his decision to endorse Joe Biden previously. He's not doing it again, though.
You made that endorsement in 2020. Are you happy with the state of America?
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and it's my job then. I felt like that then. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no.
My question is, what changed? A lot, huh? A lot has quite literally changed since Joe Biden has taken office. And I, too, was a guy who was under the TDS syndrome, Trump derangement syndrome as well when I was a leftist liberal. But since I've been able to educate myself on some things, I now know that I shouldn't have just blindly voted for somebody because of how I felt at the time. Feelings, man.
Vice President Biden and Senator Harris are the best choice to lead our country, and I am endorsing them to become president and vice president of our United States.
A few moments later.
Really have friends who support Biden?
I do. Come on. No. Here's what I do. I have friends. Thank you. That's a good check, because that's important. This is important context.
They support the Democratic Party.
I have friends who are loyal to the party.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, at least you can admit when you're wrong, right? Because I was definitely wrong. I was so wrong, and I feel it. Literally. But because of The Rock being as big as he is and endorsing Joe Biden initially, people felt like he knew better. So they now consider some of this stuff to be a joke. They say that on one hand, like I say, at least you can admit that you were wrong, or you can admit you now have evolved since then. But people are saying they're no longer fans and never gonna watch a movie simply because of his antics like that. But I'll say this, look, if you're looking for your favorite entertainer to give you your political candidate, as opposed to actually having one on your own, look, bro, you choosing the wrong heroes, dog. Of course, he said he's optimistic, but what does that mean? I know he claimed that he's independent, but what does that mean? Are you going to repeat the same mistake you made in 2020? I mean, he said he wasn't, but when they get time to it, things change. And for added context, I believe he also endorsed Biden and Hillary as well. Yeah. Which leaves people saying things like this. He's not to be trusted. Wants us to believe he is based to try to influence our thinking very soon. Put no trust in celebrities, think for yourself. And I believe this wholeheartedly. I also believe that you shouldn't hold your favorite entertainer. Let's say you have a favorite basketball player, just because y'all have different views. I don't think that you should then take away your love of the game and your appreciation for what said entertainer do on the court. Now, if you was R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying, doing something, like that, then yeah, you can't separate the man from the entertainment. I'm just keeping it real, at least for me, to each his own. But could this be a attempt to repair his image? After the whole, I don't even want to say it, I'll just say him and Oprah, they call it a fiasco. After that whole ordeal, is this an attempt for his PR to work overtime to make sure that they, squeaky clean that thing? I will say this, though. What was interesting to me is him realizing his influence, and obviously he's going to make the best decision for himself, which is he's entitled to that right. But I'll say, man, if people would have just did a little digging, including myself, if we would have just did a little more digging, all of the evidence was there to point out why this was gonna turn out like this. But in today's modern society, hey Rock, I'm gonna keep it real, dog. You might be a little too late. The streets don't give refunds when it comes to stuff like this these days. Yeah. But I say, hey, man, let's go ahead and cheer him on. We shouldn't boo people for being a little late to the party.
Rock understand. Are you booing because The Rock was supposed to be here at 4 o'clock? Is that why you were booing? You're booing because The Rock was a little late. Is that why you were booing? Why was The Rock late? You want to know? You want to know why The Rock was late? Are you sure? You want to know why The Rock was late? He was watching YouTube, watching Jalen Hurts lose in the playoffs again.
Something really quickly, because
Please,
again,
yeah.
will you endorse? How do
Joe
you feel
Biden.
about that? Because you're in a position too as well, where you're influential.
Now he's putting me on the spot. I've never answered this question. You know, Dwayne, I've never formally endorsed.
But I love our flow. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So
I've never done that. I've never formally endorsed someone, and I don't know why. It's no secret. Anybody watching will know which ways I lean and who I lean against and who I lean for. And I'll be honest with you or anybody else, the way I've voted every single time. But a little bit, I've always considered the ballot box as private. I mean, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem telling you or America, you know, I will vote for Donald Trump.
Sure.
But I don't know about it. Like, I've just never made a point of my endorsement. And that was a big moment. And that's why I wanted to ask you about today. It was a big moment for you.
Yes.
As you mentioned, you're very influential. To the point of this, we talked about it. Mm-hmm. You running for president. People talk about it. You've talked about it.
Yes.
Imagine The Rock as the president. How y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comments.
So, you know, you're not going to make an endorsement in 24.
Right.
Assume what?
As I break out more.
You're going to be a drink.
I knew this question was coming.
You want to say Trump?
Are you going to ever seriously run for president? Answer that question seriously, consider it seriously, and make that that mountaintop run for president.
As of now, no. That's not my intention, Will. I'm not a politician. I'm not into politics. I care deeply about our country. I'm a patriot, and I believe you are too, as well. And right now, my desire and my priorities are my babies and school drop-offs and pickups and things like that. That's important to me because I also have a 22-year-old who I like to say we grew up together. And I know what it's like to be in a business. At that time, I was a full-time professional wrestler on the road over 300 dates a year. And I missed a lot of her growing up. And I understand what that is if you become president and how all that goes away. And I don't want that to go away. And I also feel like in the spirit of bringing people together and bringing our country together, I don't know if that's the right move at this point. Possible. I don't know. So the truth is,
as of now, you said.
As of now.
I mean, this is what I asked you about.
Let's bring another drink.
This is legacy. This is there something to serve others outside yourself? Is that a potential mountain? Is that something that you said as of now, 2028?
It always is, Will, and I got to tell you, we might have talked about this either on or off camera last time we were together, my family was evicted out of Hawaii when I was 14 years old. We couldn't pay the rent, and we were gone. We were kicked off the island. And from that kid to then not knowing where I was going to live, winding up in Nashville, and then going up to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and kind of all over the place. From that kid to a good amount of Americans feel like I would do a decent job of becoming president. It's still very surreal to me. And I'm honored by that. And this idea of legacy, building New Mountain, more than yourself, bringing our country together. Right now, my main priority is being a daddy and continuing to build these other things, but also, again, being in the position I am, just like you said, my trust, unequivocal, is with the American people. And whoever they decide to make president.
He's starting to sound like he's getting ready to run. I'm just saying. Who y'all got, Democrats?
Again, that's my president, that's our president, and we're going to support it.
Let's talk about family. It's a great transition back into wrestling.
Tell y'all what, too, man. These streets. By the streets, I mean comment section. They vicious right now. You had Lexi B. She said, The Rock did us wrong. He only regrets endorsing Biden because his fans turned on him for that, which resulted in profit loss. I don't really know if I'm being honest personally. Seems to be doing pretty good for himself. We have been She says, we have been Bidened, Rock. You hated Trump, but Biden is worse. Biden values illegal immigrants over American citizens. For example, Biden throws billions of dollars at illegal immigrants who violate immigration laws, while many law-abiding, hard-working Black Americans, you should just say Americans, are suffering from inflation. Inflation is a tax on poor people. Yes. What Biden is doing is human trafficking, which is far worse than Trump. You should have apologized to us, but you did not. Instead, you gushed over Biden and Harris. Woo, man, I'm telling you, these streets, they ain't giving no refunds. But his reasoning on not running for president, I mean, it makes sense. He says he's not really into politics like that. He's been on the road a lot. When his kids, his daughter, who's now 22, as she was growing up, so he missed a lot of time with that. Obviously, he wants to spend, and you got to respect these values. But then, he went on to sound like vote for me, right? When he said that he's here for the American people. For sure, man. I mean, I feel like people can change. People can evolve. That's the right that we all have. Obviously, there are certain things that you can't come back from, but we can evolve, man, our way of thinking. And at this point, we can just only be grateful that he's using his influence to say he ain't voting for Joe Biden. At least we got that, y'all.